Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our Residence Life Speaker Series. My name is Justin Brown. I'm here with my co-host.
Leah Paulson.
And this program is being brought to you by the Office of Residence Life and Housing Services. Today, we are here with the talented, recognizable, accomplished, he's an icon. We are here with Al Roker. Al, how are you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Obviously, Al doesn't need any type of introduction, but we would not be doing him justice if we did it. I saw your entire bio, Al. Man, we would be here for years. You've done so many things. You've accomplished so many, have gotten so many awards. I minimized it so I could get you in. But Al Roker is a weather and feature anchor on NBC News Today, as well as a co-host of the third hour of Today. Roker has been named the best weatherman twice by New York Magazine. He's the recipient of the American Meteorological Society's prestigious seal of approval and has been a pioneer in the use of computer graphics for weathercasting. You've won 3 Daytime Emmy Awards, and you're a part of today's recognition as America's and best morning newscast. Everybody give it up for Al. All right, so Al, welcome to our group of Westchester University. I know our students are really excited. If you're a student and you're tuning in, please start placing your questions in the chat. So Al, how have you been during this whole COVID-19?
Well, we're very blessed. We have a house in upstate New York, and being in that demographic of being at risk, being over 60, I decided we'd move back up here. And, my son, who's a sophomore in high school, is doing online classes. My wife, Deborah Roberts, is doing stuff from here on Good Morning America and 2020 and Nightline. So we're, it's all good. Today's a nice sunny day. So even that makes life a little bit better. But, we've been able, thanks to technology, we've been able to, do our weather. I've got a setup where I've got 2 iPads, one that has my video return, one that has a teleprompter. I'm using my iPhone 11 as my camera. I've got 2 MacBooks, one that drives the monitor behind me and another that controls the weather graphics. And then for my IFB, the thing that I can hear program and control and can talk to me, I've got an iPhone 8. So it is a bit of an Apple centric operation. But, and 5 years ago, I don't know that you could have done this, but we are in a bit of a rural area. Fortunately, about 2 months ago, we got high-speed internet. I was on DSL for we've been up here about 23 years. And if this was 4 months ago, we could have never done this.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm glad that you're able to move everything over because we would definitely miss you if we couldn't see you every single day. Do you have any funny quarantine stories? And by funny quarantine stories, I mean, like, for example, my daughter has no idea what a commercial is. This quarantine has definitely showed her what a commercial is on TV. Her iPad went out the other day and I was like, sorry, baby, you're gonna have to charge it. We're gonna turn on the TV. And she's like, Dad, put on the next one. I'm like, well, baby, you gotta wait. And she's like, what do you mean I gotta wait? So.
Yeah. And it's for example, we've had, I'm in our family room. This is where I broadcast. My wife, Deborah's in the living room right around the corner. And yesterday she was doing something and Nick was part of it. And I thought I would surreptitiously videotape it. And Robin Roberts I guess I forgot about the angle, but they could see me. And Robin Roberts kind of busted me and says, is that Al Roker in the background? So, and today Deborah thought we were off because on our TV, we use YouTube TV for our quote cable. And but it's about a 30-second delay between live and when it actually comes on YouTube TV. So she thought I wasn't on, and she somehow inadvertently walked in 3 different times.
Oh my!
During the same segment, and she kept, and I said, "You're on," and she, but I'm not. Like, yeah, you are. So she kept looking at the big TV, thinking that was live, which it is, but it's 30 seconds delayed.
Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. Well, some people have already started asking their questions. So, Leah, you can go ahead and start calling on some people. Oh, we're also live on Facebook. So, for those who are watching the stream from Facebook, if you have questions, feel free to put those in the chat and we'll bring those into Al as well.
Awesome. So, our first question is from Nick Marcel. So, go ahead, Nick.
Awesome. Hi, Al. Thank you very much for being here. First, I'll say what's happening in your neck of the woods. But other than that, I was seeing that you used to do some cartoons and illustrations, and was wondering if you still do any of that nowadays. A good friend of mine, his dad is in that industry or in that world.
No, I do some doodling, and I have a little cartoon son that I draw on my signature, but no, not as much anymore. Just don't have the time, sadly.
That's fair. Well, thanks.
We love you. We love you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm the mom.
All right, Mom.
That's awesome. The cool thing about this, Al, is that we've been doing programming for the university, but it hasn't just been for students. So we have uncles, aunts, moms, dads, a lot of people are tuning in. But for those individuals who want to, start following you on social media, what are some of your social media handles so they can start following you?
It's pretty simple. It's Al, at Al Roker, both in Twitter and Instagram. I don't do Snapchat or TikTok.
Any plans on starting a TikTok?
No, not so much. It's
all right.
I applaud those. I applaud those who do, but there's too much stuff. Between TikTok and the thing and the Snapchat and the Slack and this and that. It's like, how about just living? Just move.
Absolutely.
Just pick up a phone.
Yeah.
But I'm impressed with all the people who can do the dance moves and blah blah blah. That's great. Good for you.
Absolutely. Our next question is from Anum. I hope I'm saying your name correctly, but go ahead and ask your question.
Hi. So we have one question. It's kind of funny, but we feel like Al, one thing that you're kind of known for is your glasses. And actually, my mom requested this question because she's been watching you forever, and we've also been watching you for as long as we've been alive. So, how many pairs of glasses do you own, if you've ever kept track?
Yeah, I've got probably about a dozen. I mean, some people wear different shoes, sneakers, whatever. I like glasses. I've got pink, I've got yellow, purple, blue, red. My wife's not crazy about some of the brighter colors, but
I think that's with your look, though. It's cool.
Well, thank you.
It makes a statement. I love it.
Do you have a glasses person, or are you the person that goes and gets your own glass, or do you have a glasses guy?
There's a number of the brighter colors are provided, and I pay for them, but a guy named Ashley Bezamot, and he's got an eyeglass company called Dom Vetro. It's based in LA. They're custom glasses, but they're, for custom glasses, they're relatively inexpensive. They're a little bit more than Warby Parker, but not a lot more. And I just like the shapes, and I like the colors.
Very cool, very cool. Now, a lot of times on the show, they've sometimes dressed you up like to fit the theme. Like I remember you dressing up like Doc from Back to the Future, and that was a really cool segment. Were there any segments that were very similar to that? That was like,
well, that was part of our Halloween. Every Halloween we do something, and Dylan Dreyer and I teamed up to do Back to the Future. She was Marty McFly, and I was Doc Brown. So if you Google it, although I must say we did a pretty good job.
That's awesome. Yay. All right. So our next question is from Natalie McDonough Fisher. Go ahead and ask your question.
Natalie is feeling a little shy, so Mom is asking the question. Was it tough to break into the media as a person of color?
Well, I guess it was. I started in a long, long time ago. I was a sophomore in college. It was 1974, and I got a weekend weather job in Syracuse. My department chairman put me up for it. And in Syracuse at the time, there were no black anchors, sitting at the desk. But the general manager and the news director decided, why not? And because A, I think I would looked a little different, and B, I was pretty cheap because I was a college student. I was making $15 a newscast. So, but I'm sure there are jobs that I didn't get that I didn't even know about as I started moving up. But I always believed, my dad said that as a black kid, I had to work twice as hard and be twice as good to get half as far. So I have always kind of used that as my metric.
Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. I love that we got like tons of families out here. Next is Tasia. I think she's got some family that wants to say hello. Go ahead,
Oh,
Tasia.
okay, Tasia's got everybody in there. I hope y'all social distancing over there.
My grandpa wants to say hi.
Hi. Hi there.
So Tasia, what's your question?
He wanted to ask about how you're doing and then how his wife and him are doing it during quarantine.
Well, we're doing fine. It's, we got a backyard, we got a front yard, and, and so we've got space, and, it hasn't been bad. I think it's been a little tougher on my wife because, not having a regular daily gig as opposed to doing news, magazine stories and stuff for Nightline. And it's a little different for me. I'm on every day. I know when I'm going to be on. So I think it's been a little more difficult for her, but we're having a good time.
Okay. I like your glasses.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Tasia.
So Al, you've done a lot of voice work as well. I think that you were one of the voice actors in the movie Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. You're also in a movie called Robot. So talk how that goes, where you're kind of moving beyond the screen, but now you're just being a voice of a character.
Well, anybody who knows me knows I'm a huge fan of animation and love voice work. And so, that's been a lot of fun to be able, you're in a booth. A lot of times for these animated films, the voice actors work by themselves. They don't come together as a cast. And a lot of the work is done in LA, or at least the director, art director, people like that. So you're in a booth, and in your headphones, they've patched in the director from Los Angeles. And, you'll do the script and they'll say, okay, we'll try it this way, try it that way. And, Pat Patrickson probably had, 6 or 8 lines maybe. And, it took about an hour and a half. But it's fun, to see how they imagine the voice and how they, create the characters that's created. Willie Geist and I were Dim and Sum. We were pandas in Kung Fu Panda 3. So it's been a blast.
That's so cool. Awesome. So Sam Tellez is a huge fan. So Sam, go ahead.
Hi, Al.
Hello.
Hi. You are literally my idol. Like, I'm not even kidding. I was so excited. Hi, I'm good. So I've always wanted to ask you this. How is it going in your neck of the woods?
Well, it's going pretty well because we do have woods outside. So we've got a lot of woodland creatures. It's been a mild winter, so we're overrun with squirrels and chipmunks.
Good. I hope you're doing well.
Thank you. I am. You as well.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam. All right. Our next question we have is from Catherine. So Catherine, go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, I'm here with my brother. He's like your biggest fan, and then my whole family's in the back. But our question is, what's your favorite part about being on the show?
Well, sadly, I think my favorite part is the part that we don't have right now, which is being able to hang out with, Hoda and Savannah and Carson, Craig, Dylan and Chanel. It really is a good group of folks. And I do love going out on the plaza, and shaking hands and doing all that, and can't do that right now. So, it's two of the things I love I'm not able to do, but what are you going to do? A lot of people aren't able to do the things they love or work at the jobs they have and aren't getting paid. And I'm very fortunate. I've got some place to live. I'm doing my job and I'm getting paid. So, I'm okay.
Yeah, thank you. My parents also wanted me to tell you that they're Oswego class of '86.
All right.
They're very excited about it.
Well, I'm glad they are.
I'm digging your brother's hat too, Catherine.
Yes, no, he loves it.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah. All right. Next we have Monet. So go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, Al. So last semester I took a class in meteorology, which was really fascinating and I learned a lot. What has been your most interesting or unique experience or discovery with the weather or in meteorology, like throughout your whole life?
Well, I just think, that until you go out and report on it and kind of see it, you don't really appreciate the power of weather, and what nature does and how water finds a way, and the destructive power of a tornado, all those things. We think we've got all this stuff pretty well mastered, and then an area gets hit by a tornado or a hurricane, and you're just in awe of what is left behind. And so I think I never cease to be amazed by the power of the weather.
Thank you, Monet. All right. We have Emma next. Emma and her dad also has a question. So go ahead, Emma.
Hey there. Hi.
My question is, what is your favorite memory from a Thanksgiving Day parade?
Oh, golly. I think it was the first one, standing there and getting ready to do the weather and do the hosting, and realize that, to be part of people's tradition. That's something I grew up watching, and to be part of that is, it's kind of awe-inspiring. Still is.
Yeah.
Hi, Al. Watched you for years. How you doing?
Good.
Very good. So I have a kind of a bigger, broader question, but as kids graduate, transition into the workforce, digging back into your history, what would be your insight or little tidbit to tell these kids to stand out in a world where they have to be doing interviewing remotely and virtually?
Well, I would say to be yourself. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Don't try to impress somebody with a big vocabulary, or to represent your best self, and that, because if you're not authentic, they'll know it. So you can only, you've got to wear your skin that you're in. So and just try as best you can to impart the thought that if you are hired, that you are going to be one of the greatest assets they've ever hired.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. Sure.
Absolutely. We have time for one more question. So we have one more question. Leah, who was it?
Two more, actually. Do we have time for both real quick?
Let's ask Al. Al, you got time for two more?
Okay.
Cool. So Colin first, and then Rowan has a quick one. So Colin, go ahead first.
Okay. Hi, Al. So my question is, back a couple of years ago, you broke the world record for hosting the longest uninterrupted live weather report by reporting for 34 hours straight. What was that experience like, and what influenced you to do it?
One of my producers came up and said, Oh, did you see the story out of, I think it was Sweden. There was this weather person, this woman, who did a live weather forecast for 24 hours. And I said, I could do that. And he said, really? I said, yeah, but you'd have to do it. You have to do at least 30 hours just so that nobody could come close, or at least if they did, they'd have to really work at it. And that's how it kind of came up. As it turns out, she didn't do it for 24. In fact, it wasn't verified. But we went all in, and it was a hoot. We had a great time. And then we set the Guinness record for 50 live weather forecasts in all 50 states consecutively. So we did that. And then the last one, which was a couple of years ago, we broke world records on 5 college campuses, ending at SUNY Oswego, my alma mater, doing the longest conga line on ice. So,
yeah, very interesting. Yeah, thank you. Much appreciated.
You bet.
Our last question is from Rowan. Rowan, go ahead and ask your question.
I'm Mr. Roker. Thank you for doing this. My question was, when did you realize you wanted to be a meteorologist?
Well, truth be told, Ron, I didn't want to be on TV. I was going to be a producer or a writer or director. I didn't want to be on television. And when I was in college, when I started in school, I took a couple of classes, one in the environment. Back then they called it the ecology. And then I took a intro to meteorology class. And like I said, at the end of my sophomore year, I was majoring in radio and television. And in fact, my department chairman, after I took a TV performance class, told me that I had the perfect face for radio. So I wasn't planning on being on TV, but he put me up for a weekend weather job. At the end of my sophomore year, I got it, and that kind of started. But my class that year, when I took the performance class, there was another guy that nobody ever heard of afterwards, a guy named Jerry Seinfeld. So I don't know what happened to him. He ever made it? I don't know. I keep Googling him. I can't find him.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. We are here with Al Roker, everybody. He spent some time with us talking about his career, things he's been doing, and talking with all of you. Al, thank you so much for coming on with us today. What we've been doing is we've allowed our speakers to have the last word or the last say. So if you have like a key to life or words to live by, I mean, you've been dropping gems on our students throughout the entire broadcast. But if there was one thing that you wanted to definitely leave with your message today, what would that be?
I would say, kind of going back to Emma's question, or Emma's dad's question, to be yourself. That's Willard Scott is my mentor. He did the Today Show for 20 years before me. And he said, always be yourself. They can't take that from you. So that, and that's who you are, and you best. So I would say that is, that's my advice. My other piece of advice is, on July 28th, go out and buy You Look So Much Better in Person, Tales of Absurdity and Success by Al Roker. It's
absolutely.
It's the things I've learned working these past 40 years. And the title comes from, every time I go out at the window, every day, it never fails, somebody will say, oh my gosh, you look so much better in person. And I know they mean it as a compliment, but I keep and you don't want to be rude, but it's like, you realize I make my living on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not really a compliment, but thank you for
not
trying.
At all. It's like, you know what, you do too. You do too. Thank you, Al, for being with us today. For all those who are just tuning in, we had Al Roker this afternoon. If all of you are interested, we have 2 more speakers today. Today we have Joshua Triplett. He's from CBS's The Neighbors with Cedric the Entertainer. We have MTV Sway at 4:30. And Al Roker, you can join us for any of these. So if there are any...
if I can't, actually, wait, Thursday, that's today.
That is today.
Actually, I unfortunately, today also happens to be my oldest daughter's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you. And we have a Zoom. But if you want to get Sway, ask him how many times Eminem has actually been at the Eminem channel. Every time I go on his show, I said, it's the Eminem. Eminem's never set foot in this building. He's never here. Why is it even called the Eminem channel? I mean, you may as well call it, I bet the candy M&Ms have been in there more than Eminem has. You know, like the peanut and the almond, you know, on Eminem, they've been there more than Eminem himself. So ask him that. He'll know. I bust him every time.
I will definitely ask that. But we have Joshua Triplett at 3, Sway at 4:30. We will ask him that question. And then tomorrow we're wrapping up our series with Cedric Yarborough. He's been on Reno 911, The Boondocks. He's also Officer Meow Meow on BoJack Horseman. So we look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you again, Al.
Okie dokie.
Thank you so much.